been freaking out about all day. Yes, I set the razor to a little too close, but that's okay. It grows back. Announcements right quick. One, a question came up: how much of the donations at LibrePay through Streamlabs, if you want to tip the stream, or through GoFundMe, actually get to Love America Tour? And the answer is it's kind of different. If you use a credit card, it's 100% basically of if you were running the GoFundMe, what you would get goes to the Love America Tour. So let's see. Follow-up interviews. If you were interviewed by Corin in part 1, we are going to be contacting you most likely from an address, and it's this address. It is not an at LoveAmericaTour.today, but as we did on the last, as we showed on the last episode, Much More Gooder is one of the companies that's associated with this. So this is the email address that it'll come from, latfollowup@muchmoregooder.com. That's Michelle Arwood. She's volunteering with the Love America Tour, doing exactly this, scheduling follow-up interviews for the LOVEstream. So that's where it'll come from. Again, real quick, if you are interested in becoming a what amounts to a backup host in case I get sick or my computer goes down or whatever happens, because life happens and the show must go on. That address is streaming at LoveAmericaTour.today. So if you're interested in doing that, send an email to this address. Include the specifications of your computer and your internet, and if you have any live streaming experience, what that experience is. One last announcement, the cookbook is under construction currently, and Ryan has said that he's going to leave submissions open. He'll accept submissions until the end of September, and you send those to plainsimpleryan@gmail.com. So I think that's it. Let's see. Communication lines actually are being tweaked out. If you receive an email from LoveAmericaTour.today or MuchMoreGooder.com, odds are it's legit. If you have any questions about that, though, whether or not something is above board, ask. And you can ask at info@LoveAmericaTour.today. We will never ask for any money directly. The platforms that we accept donations through are always up here, and they are also listed at LoveAmericaTour.today, the website. So during the intro, which I'm about to play, I will be retweeting and sharing the live stream. I would love it if you guys would do the same. And with that said, let's get to it.
Your destination is on the left.
Okay, so as promised, let me pull the chat up right here. Oh goodness, there's already a bunch of people in there. Hello, everybody. So we have a journey to go on, and I'm going to do the best that I can to explain how I started on this. I tend to, especially if when I can find free time, I try to do some introspection, because there's only one person on the planet that we can change or improve, and that's ourselves. The only person that you can try and convince somebody to change, but the only person that you can actually make a change to is yourself. And so that's something that I try to do on a regular basis, is look at how to improve myself. And I kind of went on a journey over the weekend that led me to a couple of realizations. And one, I owe you guys an apology. I owe the Love America Tour apology, the crew. I lost the vision. I started doing the live streams in the hopes that it would continue to feed the fundraising side of the house, but it's not about that anymore. And I was stressed that I was failing the tour, but the Love America Tour isn't about the GoFundMe or the LibrePay or the Streamlabs or any of that anymore. It's about light. It's about love. And the reason that what started out on a whim has become almost a movement. It's getting so much bigger, so much quicker, and all of this stuff is getting built and everything. And the reason is the world needs it. The world needs it right now more than I can explain, because there's an awful lot of darkness and hate out there right now. And one of the things that I do is I attempt to see, well, what do I have that I can make better for the world? And so I start to think about these things, and it turns out, why is there so much darkness and hate in the world? Because we've been told to do that. We've been manipulated into doing that to each other, and it seems like the new norm is to escalate, and we've become used to it. We're convinced we can out-dark the dark. We're convinced we can out-hate the hate. And if we're witty enough or argue well enough and fight hard enough, and that's just not the case. We have been inundated and overwhelmed with things to react to, especially in an election year. We have Twitter posts, we have Facebook posts, Instagram, the news, just it's everywhere. And it's stuff that we've been conditioned to react to instead of responding to. It's something that we've been kind of led into without really thinking about it or digging into it, to just react to it. And I think it was on Netflix. There was a show about I guess thought versus intuition, and I can't remember the name of this show, but in that somebody said part of the problem that we're having is that wisdom has been replaced by knowledge, and knowledge has been replaced by information. And we have such a steady stream of information that we don't take time to process it, and we don't take time to think about it and dig into it. So it never becomes knowledge or wisdom. It's just information. And half the time, we don't even do that. And in doing so, we have been led into dividing ourselves up by political party lines or by race or by sexual preference or by whatever. And we've been encouraged to do that and fight with each other. Along come Corin. And Corin saw this, and I thought I saw it. I thought I seen what he was seeing, and I didn't. And you know, like I said, we've been encouraged to divide, and in doing so, as we react rather than responding, what we're doing is creating more stuff out there for other people to react to instead of respond to. And that it turns into a vicious cycle and everything. So now there's all this hate and darkness, and it seems to be self-perpetuating. And so what? Is it hopeless? No, it is absolutely not. And you guys actually showed me the answer. I didn't realize it at the time, but you guys showed me the answer. On August 11th, Corin tweeted this out. And, you know, it seemed like an innocuous tweet. He got a job. That's awesome. And then this happened. If I can get my mouse to work, sorry about that. And then this happened where we got our first bit of hate. Okay. And I saw that and didn't respond to it because I didn't want to react, but I didn't know how to respond. But you guys did. And I mean, it happened like wildfire. We send out love to those that are part of our family missing out on a wonderful experience. And a bunch of you just went crazy with the love, and that is the answer, and that is what Love America Tour is actually should be about. You guys literally went nuts with nothing but positivity and love, and that's the answer. Martin Luther King actually said that you can't, like I said, I mentioned earlier about we've been conditioned to think that we can out-hate the hate, and you can't. Have here is a family that's slowly growing right now, and it has become a light, a beacon of love in this dark world that's full of hate. And now what we need to do is share that light, bring some folks in, just even slowly at first. Somebody who's having a bad day, bring them into the fold. Let them see what is possible when we respond instead of reacting, when we respond positively to each other and we are uplifting. It has been such a blessing to me, even just to see it amongst the families. So what I want to do here real quick, before I get too far down, is, because I still have the Ask Me Anything, and I want to finish up this journey right quick. What I want you to do, and you'll know, and it sounds a little hokey, just play along, humor me. You'll know if you're doing this right, because you'll start to feel an excitement well up inside you. You'll feel some really good feelings if you're doing it right. And what I want you to do is not imagine that this is where we're going. Not imagine that this is the way it's going to be for the Love America Tour, but imagine just for a moment that this is what the Love America Tour, this is where the Love America Tour is right now. And that did not work the way I wanted it to. How about now? Are we back? Are we back on I'm getting some text messages that the sound is off. We should be back. Okay, so to continue on where I left off, as you see these waterfalls, and again, I want you to imagine that this is the way it is right now, because it is kind of this way. As you imagine these waterfalls, imagine that every drop of water is a person that we're bringing into the LAT family, we're showing that love to, and who becomes part of this love, part of this family, part of this light. It doesn't have to be a very fast trickle or a very big waterfall. It all starts really small, and these small trickles can fill up these giant lakes. And that's what we need to do, is we need to make the light as big and bright as we can, one person at a time. And Corin saw this from the very beginning. And Corin, I apologize that I did not see this from the very beginning, but I get it now. I want you guys to imagine that Love America Tour is a full-fledged traveling docuseries. It's on a network. It's seasonal, and folks can come and watch as the people who the mainstream media doesn't want their stories told can start telling their stories. And they can start, because as the more folks that we bring into the Lat Fam, they know people that are going to need this light and love too. Most of the people out there that you see that are full of hate and darkness, they don't want to be. They're tired of it too. And all we have to do is show them what we've found and bring them into the family. So I want you to just picture for a minute that this is the way it is. The family's getting bigger. The Love America Tour is on the Travel Network or something like that. Who knows? And the light is getting bigger and brighter, fully funded, reaching people left, right, center. And if you're doing this right, you're going to start to get excited. I'm just thinking about it. I did it earlier, but I'm getting excited because that is how things are gonna grow. And these are the realizations that I came to over the weekend. I'm not really gonna go into the entire journey or the entire fight, but I did promise we have about 13 minutes before Bobby and Ben and Corin and the Chad and everybody get here. But for now, just imagine what it's going to be like when it's there, and then imagine that it is here now. And I don't know if you guys believe this or not. I personally believe in the law of attraction. It has worked for me. And if you don't understand that, I'll happily explain it to you after the live stream or tomorrow. But believe me that it works. And believe me that if you are feeling, when you imagine this, a feeling of excitement and the feelings of love, then you're doing it right. And that is how we're going to grow. It's just one person at a time. Let me come down here right quick. And yep, it's still pending. Okay. We may not be able to get Scotty in, but I'm going to go ahead and open up because I said I was going to. I don't know why it doesn't like doing that. Ugh, there, all the way. Now I'm going to check the chat because I could see it, but I haven't really been looking for it. We lost the sound. Yep, amen to that. I guess people are I'm getting a lot of agreement. So I'm getting a lot of no audios as I scroll down. So I'm guessing that this is something that maybe some of you have been feeling as well. And it's just I am excited now because I am starting to see things in the world. That's one of the things that I do. I'm not a prophet. I don't pretend to be a seer or a psychic or anything like that. But I look at what's happening and I basically calculate odds as to what's going to happen next. And I see this, right now the odds are getting better and better and better that we are turning around right now as a planet. And we're headed into the darkest and most hateful place that we're going to get to, and then it's going to swing around the other way. And I see the Love America Tour actually being a part of that. DJ Treason, the Chad is copy the link, text it to 5 friends randomly. This is awesome. As we have about 10 minutes before we're going to bring everybody on, and the producers and everybody, the one question that I got from Christina Shaw so far, for the Ask Me Anything that isn't classified, was from Christina Shaw, who's at work. You'll have to catch it on the rebound, Christina. Do you have any life regrets? And if so, would you change those circumstances and events if you could? I do have regrets. A lot of them are have to do with not being strong enough, smart enough, or fast enough in a given situation to accomplish the mission. But those aren't things that you can change. Those aren't regrets based on my choices. I do regret that it took me as long as it did to become a person who considers the consequences, especially to others, of my actions before acting. And I can think of a couple instances where I've caused pain to others because I didn't think before I acted how this would affect them, and that is probably one of my largest regrets. And would I change it? Absolutely. I would love to be able to go back in time with the understanding that I have now, or the knowledge that I have now. I mean, who wouldn't? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna check the chat. If you guys have anything that you want to ask away. Love that quote. Copy the text. All right, so I'm gonna pop these on right quick so that I can start getting the guys invited here in about 5 minutes, I guess. If anybody has any questions, now's the time, and I know there's a delay, so. I did get a question earlier, and I think it was in jest, from Ryan as to what would it take for Corin to be in season 3 of The Mandalorian, and my response is probably at least one full-length feature film of Jedi training and a lightsaber is what I believe it's going to take for him to get on the show. So awesome. I might get out of this AMA relatively unscathed. Not seeing a whole lot of questions. Real quick, since that's not happening, and I've got about 3 minutes before I'm going to bring, 3 to 7, I guess, before I'm going to bring these guys on. That excitement that you felt thinking about the Love America Tour getting bigger and being fully funded and reaching people and being on the network, that can work in your life too. What you have to do is have a feeling that what you're looking for is already in your life, and the feeling of being thankful for that, and it does actually happen. Will you give updates on the GoFundMe total, says Rose? Well, I can. I think I have that somewhere. Not on that one. My mouse is acting up, and I don't know why. I think it needs a new battery. DJ Treason says it's at $4,750 out of $6,000. And Husky, what is the top way you think your path has shifted from this tour experience so far? You know what, Bonnie? There's a number of ways. One, I'm still looking at moving to New Mexico, but it's for an entirely different reason. My parents live out there. They're getting on in years, and I want to be out there to help them out as much as they need. But I like the New Mexico and northern New Mexico, southern Colorado area. But before the Love America Tour, I was going out there to get away from humanity. Literally, I wanted to have nothing to do with it anymore. I did have plans to do a couple of live stream shows from Much More Gooder, and the plans are still there, but they're altered. For instance, I have a Colonel Obvious persona from which I talk about politics, and it's not so much whether the red party is correct or the blue party is correct or the green party is correct. It's more of a taking those arguments and throwing a little bit of civics knowledge out there every now and again. And I'm not gonna bore you with the details. If you're interested in those kind of details, text me later or DM me later, and I'll show you where Colonel Obvious is. But I have another idea for a show that's just, it's puns and video games with something silly, like if you've ever seen a TENS unit, it's something that sends electricity through different muscle groups and helps to relax, and it can be used for pain relief. And I have a couple of these. But if you hook it up to your arm and give the controls to your fiance, who at random decides that while you're playing a video game you've never seen before, all of a sudden your arm's going to start jerking around, that can be fun. And that's one of the biggest ways that I think the path has shifted for the tourists. But I now believe in humanity again. I believe that I believe we're going to be okay, and I no longer really want to go get away from humanity. I want to help humanity, and that's where we're at. So let's see, what do we got? Christina, random acts of kindness and paying it forward goes farther than you realize. I agree. Rachel Cooper, so excited for part two of the Love America tour. The boys are going to be in my neck of the woods this time around. That's awesome. And, I've been invited to be part of the road crew, and I would love to do that. But I can't both be on the road crew and live stream. And honestly, I don't think my health would handle being on the road for a month. But I'm a little jealous of Corin for seeing, for being able to go out and meet everybody. And that's a long way around. That's a 180-degree turn from being ready to move off into the middle of nowhere just to get away from humanity. So Rose says, have a look on Facebook. I put a picture on, you may remember. I think I saw that post, Rose. If it's you and Kung Fu Panda having a dance, I do remember it. So that's an excellent question, Bonnie. I'm glad you asked that, because that is the effect that the Love America tour has had on me personally. That is just the beginning, but that is the biggest way that I can describe it, is that instead of running away from humanity, I now want to run towards humanity and help in any way that I can. And I think the Love America tour is going to be a big part of that, being that beacon of love that I spoke about earlier. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'll tell you what I'll do, since we're kind of running out of time. If you have a question that you want to ask, DM it to me on Twitter, private message me on Facebook, and I will answer it to you privately. And then if it's a good one, I may just go ahead and tweet it out. If it's something that's edifying or something that I think needs to be shared. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do here, if I can get my mouse to cooperate, is we are going to start inviting everybody for the party. And part of this party is going to be, you heard me say that we want to see the Love America tour be a full-fledged, fully funded traveling docuseries, and be seasonal on a network, and reaching people and having these waterfalls of people slowly filling up the lake, which is the beacon of love. And one of the things that we're going to be able to find out today from the people that are here is how are we going to get there? When you're doing the imagination thing, when you're doing the visualization, don't worry about the how. But the how is very interesting, I think. And so we're going to invite everybody. Got Bobby, got the Chad, got Corin, got Ben. And right now I'm not able to get Scott in because I can't find his contact. But I think I can get the meeting to him if I write this number down. Excuse me 1 second, because I'd really like to see Bobby or Scotty on here too. Okay, so I'm going to invite everybody and get them in, and I am going to text just ever so briefly the meeting ID, and hopefully Scott can get in. My apologies as I get this done. I guess I got to send him the password too, and I don't know what that is. Okay, we got folks starting to come on. I'm going to go ahead and transition over to that screen, but hopefully Scott can get in. Okay, somebody I'm picking up on my. There it is.
What's up?
What's going on?
Hello. Let me hide that.
What's up, brother?
Okay.
What's going on?
I gotta invite Ben again. Hey, Corin, Bobby, Chad, how are we?
I'm good. I'm good.
Man. Good.
We got some high fellows coming in.
Corin, how's that sushi? How's the sushi? Your volume is horrible, bro.
Your microphone is turned off, I think.
Call in over the internet.
Exactly.
Nope, can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. There was.
There we go.
There it
There
is.
you go.
On the other line, and the call was still going. So I thought I was talking to you guys, and I keep hearing somebody talking back. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Bill. And it was I was still on the phone with Artie down in. I was talking to Artie in Mississippi.
Okay, it looks like
How's
Ben
audio?
is here, but his video isn't enabled, but I'm not sure if his audio is or not. Can you hear us, Ben?
Well, what's up, Bobby? How are you, brother?
What's going on, brother? How you feel? How's that sushi?
Oh, bro, I don't know if I'll ever eat it again. I'm serious. It was funny because I was actually just talking to Artie the other day because me and Artie were on the phone when I was at the sushi place. And I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't know. It's really empty in there. It doesn't look like anybody's eaten here in weeks. You know what I mean? And I ordered the chef special, and I'm sitting there talking. Sets it down, and it's just an assortment of fish. And I'm just like, I'm on the phone with Artie, and I'm like, well, he's like, how does it look? And I'm like, well, it looks a little rubbery, but kind of fresh. It's just, and I started tasting some with him and everything. I said, everything seems like it's all right. And I got down to the spicy tuna hand roll. And I'm taking like a couple of bites into it, talking, and I get like about halfway through the second bite, and I'm like, wait a second. I was like, oh man, I was like, Artie, I probably shouldn't have eaten here. And he goes, you'll be fine. It's California, dude. 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. Oh, I wish to God I wasn't in California.
I said last week, I said you could have stayed in Texas for mud butt.
Yeah.
I think there's an actual town called Mudbutt, Texas.
Wow, I wonder why.
We passed through a gun. We passed through a gun barrel. Texas.
Wow. Yeah, I'll stay out of Texas. Oh my God! Well, it's good to see you. I tell you that it's good to see you. Actually, you're not sick, and there's no mud butt coming out.
No, God, no. It was about a 48-hour adventure. That's all.
Oh, you drink a lot of Pedialyte.
Yeah. Actually, Benjamin brought over Pedialyte the next day, but it was so disgusting. But yeah, no. I just got in from work. It's been the director David Descocteau. Really great.
Working with a cool director.
He's such a well-seasoned guy. I mean, he's been directing for ages. He knows exactly what he wants to get. I mean, and we're shooting like 16, 19 pages a day, which is outrageous. Most people shoot 6 to 7 pages a day, depending.
You're getting it over with.
And yeah. So it's I think it's a 10-day shoot total, 9-day shoot for the whole thing. Which puts me yeah. I mean, but when they do it that fast, you don't get paid as much either.
Right, exactly, right. I know that. The movie we shoot in November, The Devil's Hand, is a 2-day shoot. It's a 2-day shoot, 15-hour days. And I said, well, whatever the money is, I said, just give it to charity. And they're like,
that's
really?
nice of you, brother. And so they gave it to LoveAmericaTour.
I know, right?
Actually, you know what? It probably will go to LoveAmericaTour because it's like for 2 days, I just look at it like I make more than that in my other jobs. So I said, I don't care, but just get it over with. 15 hours. That's a lot for 2 days.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
I mean, it's cool. It's 50 pages. It's a 50-page script. 2 days.
Okay. That's 25 pages a day. That's a task.
Yeah, we're up 6 a.m. to probably, I think he said 11 at night. Shooting. Yeah. Ooh. It's because he wanted to get everything in over the weekend. We got a great location I found, so it's actually looking good.
Congratulations. Love it.
Dude, I'm so grateful because every time I get a call, I got this script. And I was like, well, what's your location looking like? We don't know yet. I said, let me read the script, and I'll read the script. Like, I got a couple ideas for location. When we did delayed gratification, I found a building that I had for an office. I said, we can use the whole building. We shot 90%, 80% of the movie in this building.
Wow.
And my friend's like, dude, you got producer credit again. I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, it wasn't that deep. It's like, dude, I said, I just want to help out. Less money you guys spend on location, I got it. So it made me happy.
Yeah, that's rad, man. I love it. Well, that's how you get things done. That's when people come together, when people reach out to resources that they have, without, like we said, without looking for anything in return. It's not like you were saying, oh, I'll do this for you if. It's like, look, man, you guys are trying to do this. Well, let me help you. I've done that in Hollywood for so long, just putting this person in touch with that person, and then never even getting anything out of it most of the time. And sometimes, things will come full circle, and I'll end up working with one of them on a different project at a different time, but yeah, that's what it's all about. And that's the only way that we've been able to make it this far, with doing the Love America tour thing too, as well, is because people just started coming out of the woodwork and coming together and helping to assist, because when it was just myself, Chad, and Scott, I was looking at the writing on the wall, that the wheels were going to come off the entire thing, because we just as three artists just didn't have what it was going to take to do every job that was necessary to be done. Because the way that I thought of it in my mind, it seemed pretty simple in terms of, register here, we'll check those, and then but then some people weren't catching the registration emails and all of that, and so it was like, okay, well then also DM the Love America Tour site, but then you're bouncing back between the two. But then it's like, oh, then once you do get somebody, when you're in an area where there's no Wi-Fi, you don't have their phone number, it's hard to set up. Where do you set up the how do you set it up? All of these things started happening, and it was just like, oh wow, this is and then of course Benjamin came and got involved. You got involved as well, and Kat and some of the other folks who've been volunteering their time and stuff got involved, and it's actually given it a new life, which has been extremely beneficial. Because also I was just looking at the sheer cost of what I don't think what people realize is, like, if everything that was going on right now was being paid for, if every single person who's been doing the job that they're doing, in the amount of hours they've been putting on it, had not been volunteering their time right now, we would be in the 20s of thousands of dollars of investment, after the fact, after the initial shooting, after the initial 4 weeks. Which when I told some of the people out here that I work with, producers and whatnot, when I told them what I did, and they're like, well, how much did that cost you guys? How much you guys do that for and everything? I said, well, all in, it was $16K is what was, what was spent, that and some of my own money, about $4,000 of my own money. So you're talking about $20,000, and they just couldn't even believe that it was even possible to have, to have accomplished that many interviews and all of that. Unfortunately, we didn't get the kind of segments that we wanted to get, but that, it would have been impossible without the extra help that we have now. So,
I think when we came on, and I kept saying I have faith in this project, and it made me jump on it more, because I said, okay, I got history with Corin. I said, and I would not feel comfortable knowing that I'm gonna watch him do this, and it's not gonna be hard. And every day I said, it's gonna be hard. He's gonna have some issues and whatever. I said, let me help in every way possible. And I felt so good. I said, let me give more, let me do more, because I said, I want this to succeed. I said, I didn't want it to fall. And you was like, I don't know. I said, you got this. So it was so different because I said, we can push this thing along. So I had faith from day one.
Yeah. Well,
hell yeah.
Go ahead, Chad.
I just said, hell yeah, thanks.
Let me give you guys an update. Ben is having an override camera issue, something like that. So we're trying to get that fixed up, and then hopefully he'll be in here.
You know why? Because if you look at the cords at his place, it's like an octopus fight.
Hey, I can't say anything. The back end of the studio that nobody sees is, yeah, it's also an octopus fight.
Did Scott send you his info?
He did. We weren't able to quite get connected. I've sent him the meeting deal, but I'm not sure what the password is like. I'm not sure if he's actually even watching his phone anymore. We'll try and have him on next week if we can't get him on this week. Also, the chat
set up last night.
The chat is going absolutely nuts. I don't know if you guys watched the first part of the stream, but
No, I barely got back to the hotel in time to even get on the live stream. I thought I was going to have to get on in the back of an Uber.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I literally walked in right when you called. I was getting the door open.
Well, I said some very nice things about you and apologized to the crew, and I'll let you guys go back and watch this. But basically, I got in the weeds a little bit, and I said, yeah, look, I mean, everywhere you look, there's hate and discontent and darkness, and this is the answer. This is the answer to that. I was thinking we need to get internally. I wasn't saying this to people, but I was thinking we need to pull people in so that we can fund the second part of this trip. And I'm failing as a live streamer because I'm not helping with the fundraising. And dude, I lost the vision, and I have it back now. And that's basically kind of where we went with the first part. And I think you'll like it. I hope you'll like it.
Well, yeah, and I'm now that especially having gotten this job, thank God, it lightens the load in a lot of different ways for the time being. And again, with the right fundraising and the right planning and the right budget, I think round two will end up being at least 90% closer to what the original concept was. And then by round three, we should be able to knock out 100%. And by round, 4, I'm figuring that the way that it took us almost a month to do the roughly 3,200 miles, I think that round 2, heading back out from Houston again, going through Florida, down through Southern Florida, back up through Georgia, into South Carolina, North Carolina. I think by the time we got to Virginia, we're going to be hitting roughly the same marker and have to, head back to wherever we're going to be stationed out of, to start doing the next, phase.
I think part 2, being scheduled out like that, knowing where you're going to be, when you're going to be there, having the interviews pre-scheduled. Because I'll tell you, I got to be honest, Michelle Arwood has been doing a bang-up job getting the follow-up interviews for the live stream on Saturdays lined up, and it is the difference, literally, between much more Gooder being able to pull this off and me just going absolutely insane. I can't imagine that the difference would be any less for you.
Well, oh no, when we got into week 3, I was just, it was so difficult. Everything had become, the pressure was so heavy, to be able to at least finish what the premise of the whole thing is, which is to interview the people the mainstream media has forgotten about, and to show that the American people, every single one of us, has a story that's similar in context to another's, regardless of what your other opinions might be in other areas of life. When you get to the life story, it becomes the American story. Your politics come in later, and that should be saved for the voting booth.
That's right. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that in the last 24 hours, well, I'm going to go with the last 12 hours, Jeffrey Wilson has sent $50 through the GoFundMe. Michelle Arrowwood has sent $20 through the GoFundMe, and an anonymous donor came in an hour ago for $100. So it's moving.
Amazing. Amazing. I haven't had a chance to get back on the GoFundMe and update it because as things have been getting shifted around, the password has been changed again on me. So I haven't had a chance to figure out who has the new password and log it into my phone so I can get on there and do current updates. And then my work schedule, like I said, we're shooting, 16 and 19 pages a day, and I'm literally in almost everything. So, which is great, but it's, they're busy days.
Hell yeah. Busy days are good days.
So wait, I got one question. How's your catering food?
Ooh.
Oh, actually, it's fantastic because he keeps the director keeps the crew and everything. It's so tight. It's so small. I mean, the crew is probably no more than 10 people, and that includes all the departments. You know what I mean? And
wow.
It's so you have one hair, one makeup. On busy days he'll bring in somebody extra just in case, but otherwise he's also the DP, so he directs and he shoots the camera. So all he has is his first AC, and then the guy who does the clapper and all of that, he also works with electric and grip. So he kind of floats between those, and so he has one grip, one electric dude, and then he's got two guys that float between different departments, from props to that. It's and so he just has these guys that float around. It's really, really simple. If the lights don't fit in the back of his car, he doesn't bring them to set. You know what I mean? Because the way digital cameras capture light nowadays, you don't need the huge lighting packages that you used to need before. They're completely unnecessary. So
it's not like back in the day you had to have 10 lights on the side, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Yeah, I don't miss those days. I don't miss those days.
Looked like a stadium.
I think we got Ben on.
You're getting a tan just from the lights.
Well, it's because when you're shooting on, especially if you're shooting 35 or 16 mil or whatever, but if you're shooting 35 mil, when you're on a tighter lens and all of that, the light just disappears in the background really, really quickly. So you have to light up in order to shoot a long lens 35 mil of somebody sitting at a cafe, and you want to see all the buildings that go down the street behind them. You got to light all of those buildings up because they'll just disappear. They'll just completely disappear. But with digital, you don't. It captures pretty much almost what the human eye captures. You just need to
it's so good, so perfect.
And you can adjust it. You can adjust it in post.
Couple of things. We got some questions for each of you coming through the chat, and I think Ben's with us now. Ben, are you there?
Yeah, I finally made it. I shut down my computer. I said, to hell with it. Something invaded me and wouldn't let my camera run. So I said, I'm billing out of here.
Okay.
I sent you some malware.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what that was.
I was going to say it was Alexa getting back at you because, man, you are so rude to her sometimes.
I would be too.
Elise has a question for Ben.
Benjamin says to Alexa the things he calls her.
Sometimes you need somebody to yell at.
Elise, Elise has a question for Ben. Sorry. If we sent an email to the security email way back in mid-June, should we resend a DM to the Twitter account? And I believe that's about scheduling stops and saying, I'd like to be interviewed when you get around here.
Yeah, that'll still go to the original email that Corin had set up was the Love America Tour 2020 at Tutnota. That was the encrypted email that we had set up. That one is always going to be active for an incoming. Yeah. You'll never see us probably respond on that. We'll get to you. We'll get to you directly.
Okie doke. And let's see. Jen Lyle, this is for Bobby Ben, wants to know how's everything at your hospital today.
Busy. Matter of fact, I did a double last night, so I'm on Steam right now. I'm literally on Steam, and I still got another double tomorrow.
Ooh.
They're running all the shifts like that, Bobby?
I'm literally running on Steam. Well, I do a 12-hour shift, but because we're short-staffed, people have COVID, I pick up extra shifts just to balance it out. So I'll sleep for like 4 hours. So what they do is I'll get a hotel around the corner from the hospital or whatever. Instead of me driving home, because if I'm doing a double shift, I don't have to worry about hurting nobody on the road. So it's easier. 5 minutes to work, 5 minutes back to the hotel.
Yeah, maximum sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Rose has a question that I'm going to take. Yes, Rose. She's has issues with her eyes, so I can't type this to her. Yes, Rose, you can donate in pounds through the GoFundMe, I believe. Is that right, Ben? I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take it.
Yeah.
It takes all of it.
Yeah, you can pretty much donate in whatever denomination you'd like to. But again, this is about, remember that this is about light and love. Do not hurt yourselves financially. This is going to happen. It's going to happen. Whether it happens next week or 3 weeks from now, it's going to happen. So
one of the big things people need to remember too is, yes, it's definitely happening. But what we want to deliver to you is what you've been doing the whole time. We want to package this really nicely for you as well. Yes, we already have the videos up that you see in raw format, but we are doing this long stream format that's going to be this documentary series. And that whole thing has to kick off how we're going to do the second round. So what you see now and why there's a little stall for everybody is only because we're just recalibrating everything, and it has to be done right. Otherwise, it just makes it a big mess, and it's a lot harder to keep up with. So we're trying to do everything correctly now. So please excuse us for our slight delay before we jump back on the road.
Okay, that's all the questions for now. So I'm sorry I'll raise my hand I'll raise this one so I don't smack Ben in the face. But
smack him.
Smack him in the face. Right in the nose. Get him in the nose.
Man, he really doesn't like you, Ben. He stabs you in the neck with a shiv. He blasts you with a space rifle. Man, he wants me to hit you. I love you, Ben. I'd never hit you.
You should pick his nose.
Besides, you're bigger than me. I can do that.
It's a virtual thing.
There we go.
So when you see me raise my hand, basically, guys, that means we got some questions lined up from the audience. If you guys that are viewing would like to, and in the meantime, if you guys have any input or ideas for those of us that really aren't as savvy about the film industry as you guys are, how is it? What needs to happen to get Lat 2 underway and get this where it needs to be?
Hold on 1 second before anybody answers that. We need to do a shout out to Rhea.
Yes, Sugarbug Bug.
Sugarbug Bug.
Sugarbug Bug.
Yep.
Yeah, Sugarbug Bug.
Sugarbug Bug is watching, and so is Zeus, and so yeah.
She's 5 years old and starts kindergarten next week. She's so excited about it.
5 years old.
I don't remember kindergarten, but I'm told by my parents that I had an awfully good time there.
Yeah, me too.
I don't remember kindergarten. I remember my second grade. I remember second grade woodshop class. Let me just run this real quick. I remember this. I had this girl. Her name was Ronnie Wilson. She was big, and as a kid, I was happy with watching the Muppets and Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. So every day I would call her Miss Piggy. So she walked around with two of her best friends. So one day we were in woodshop class. I said, Miss Piggy, look at you. Ooh. I remember her two girls grabbed me, slammed me on the floor. She takes sandpaper and rubbed my eyebrows off.
What?
Wow.
Hey, I'm telling you, eyebrows is gone. So, so when the woodshop teacher looked at me, he said, "Oh my God!" And I kept saying, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "Did she leave a mark?" He said, "Yeah, go to the nurse." Gets me to the nurse. The nurse looks at me like, "Oh my God, your mom gonna kill us." I said, "What?" So no one let me see what was going on. I had an ice pack on my eyes. I thought you rubbed my eyeball off.
Don't give him a mirror. Don't give him a mirror.
Yo, my mom comes up and my mom says, "What the hell did you do to my kid?" And I keep saying, "Can someone let me see? I don't know what's going on." Shows me the mirror. My whole eyebrows are gone. It's just a whole puffy forehead. So
like Marilyn Manson.
Joe, it was so worse. By the time I finally went back to school a week later, my dad said, "Well, I can't send him to school looking like that." My mom said, "I got it." She takes eyeliner, and every morning she would draw different eyebrows. I look like Mr. Spot, had squiggly eyes. I remember my mom was mad at my dad for one day, and she would just make my eyebrows up here.
Oh.
I get to school, the teacher looked at me and says, "Let's go." She grabbed me, yanked me in the bathroom, erased them off, and she drew some happier ones. My mom said, "No one's erasing your eyes them all." She did a permanent marker.
Oh no. Oh no, that's the most hilarious thing ever, bro.
I had so much material as a kid. I said, one day I'm gonna be an actor because I can tell my whole life story.
Oh, that's a great either flashback or just a great. I mean, that's such a great scene, right? I mean, that's such a great segment in that. I love that. I love that story.
I can write this whole life story as my own, as my younger years growing up.
Chat's going nuts,
sounds like
Bobby.
it would be a comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so yeah, back to the LAT question. Now that we got eyebrows.
Well, let's go ahead and get through the questions that came in during the story. Corin, what type of movie are you working on? From Julie Walker on YouTube.
It's a Lifetime channel thriller.
Okay. Let's see. Michelle Arwood. I must have missed it. What does Ben do at the hospital?
Oh my God! What don't
everything.
I do? Yeah, what don't I do? I do everything at the hospital.
Brain surgery.
One thing. So let's have brain surgery. No, I don't want none of that.
Amy Kenny from Facebook are you guys considering IGTV Live?
Oh, good question.
That is a good question. There's a live IGTV?
Amy Kenny, if you want to private message LoveAmericaTour after the live stream and tell us about this, I think you got a couple of people interested. Let's see. Rachel Cooper from YouTube would like to know how close to your arrival to each of your lat stops do you plan to get to those of us who have emailed you about wanting to be interviewed? So I guess it's how close are you going to be to each hub or whatever.
Well, yes, and that's what we're working on in terms of the logistics of it, because unless we have, let's say, if we had a small tow vehicle with us, then of course we could get around and be able to get to more people's houses and do a lot more of that kind of stuff. Or B, if we have somebody who volunteers, to come by and do some of that, do some of the driving, to get us to certain locations and stuff, which happened organically, by the way, throughout the production. And actually was a really great time. I mean, we really got to get to know Troy really well in Arkansas, during that time period, and getting to know people is really exactly what this is all about anyway. But so otherwise, the scheduling of having people come by the campgrounds, and this is why there's the potential of having other people come and stay at the campgrounds during that time period if they want to take their own vacation, do their own thing. It makes scheduling the interviews a lot easier. It doesn't mean that we don't want to go to people's places, go and see people, because being able to see John do the knife making was incredible. Being able to go to Billy's studio, the Wishbone studio, was incredible. There's certain, there's certain factors that I think have to be taken into consideration. But the logistics of driving to every single person's house to do interviews in the short amount of time we have is just almost undoable.
And I would say that if you guys are in the same area, within an hour or two, even 3, carpool, get together and carpool.
Sure. Yeah, that's what they did in Arkansas.
That's exactly what they did. 4
folks all came together in one car, saved on gas, all that stuff. Very smart move as well.
Chad, this isn't a question, but Rose Kirby says she's got to go. Hope to see you all next time. Thank you for a great live stream, and thank you for the Instagram page. Because, like I said, she's kind of I've known her from other projects and stuff, and she lives in the UK. Her eyesight's failing. She's gotten to the point where Facebook is not feasible for her anymore, so she's moved to Instagram, and so she was very happy to see that the Instagram page came up. So I think that's probably a you thing there, Chad.
Well, that's actually Kat. Kat set up that Instagram page. I disabled the old one, and Kat set the new one up because that old one was connected to my personal one. And so I'm glad she did that, because now I have access. I believe Corin has access. I think Ben has access, and I think Scott may or may not. But everybody
I don't
can.
have access yet, but I'll get it eventually here.
Oh, but yeah, everybody can upload their own stuff. Whereas before, I had to ask. I'd be like, "Hey, can y'all send me this? Can you send me something really quick?" And then it wasn't feasible at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Julie Walker from YouTube has a question for me. Would you all ever consider taking call-ins from guests? Believe it or not, I just wrote that down because I seen some other people mentioning something like that. That's something that I'll have to talk to the other producers about and see. I mean, we certainly have that capability, but it kind of depends on what the vision is. In the meantime, if you guys want to go on and let us know, like I was going about before, what has to happen to the Love America Tour film, like footage that we have so far? How do we get to where Love America Tour's end game, to where it's fully funded and on the networks and stuff?
Well, I can tell you this, because the footage that we took over the roughly 4-week period was all scattered between numerous different devices and everything else. It's taken us quite a while. I still have stuff that needs to be uploaded to the main drive and compiled. So we have our buddy Artie Glacken down in Ocean Springs, who is a editor and first AD and works in the film business for years and years and years, an old friend of mine. He's been working on compiling and cataloging as much of the footage as possible to get it in a way where we know what we even have. Like, we don't even really necessarily know exactly what all we have yet, because 3 different people were shooting. At one point, once we were able to start using the GoPros, once we had the hard drive to put the footage on, and could start using the GoPros. Now you're talking about 3 different GoPros, a bunch of, 3 different people using them at 3 different times. You know what I mean? And then
3
all
cell
of the different phone footage. 4 different cell phones. So it's hard to tell exactly what all we have, but so we need to go through it all, and then. I have a really, really strong idea of how to string this together into a single documentary with I don't want to give it away, but I really think it's going to be extremely cool if we can pull it off, and everybody's going to go, wow, that's deep. Yeah. And then within that, we want to also be able to show as much of what kind of footage that we have and everything that has never been seen, as well, or used yet. So, it is going to take some time, and there's, I'm hoping to get it done as quickly as humanly possible, though. And plus, we still have to consider the raise for the next round. I mean, if driving in that first RV was running us, I mean, it was roughly about $5,000 all in just for the rental. And then the gas on that at 8 miles per gallon, times the cost per whatever county or town or state we were in per gallon, times 3,000 on almost 400 miles. You do the math. We ended up spending far more than than it cost to rent the thing on gas alone.
You got a lot of folks talking about your dog there, Ben.
Go, my Roddy. Yeah, she likes to make her own hellos and that. Hey, just touching base with what Corin was saying, on the discipline of getting the vehicle into the next level. So, one of the things we have to look at too is in closing this last raiser. So we're saying $6,000. Part of that is putting together the budget that allows us to still have the buy amount to get us into that next RV. So I don't want people to be confused that we're actually starting the funding to definitely run onto the road. We're starting the tools to get us on the road, which includes being able to get that RV, being able to have money to go, hey, we're going to give you this much of it now. What can you do for us? Because we need to have a little leverage in there. So, it all takes its time. But truly, the other part is that if people go to IMDb now, you can see on the Love America Tour, those that have signed the waiver, I'm happily able to put their names in there. Those that aren't, we are unhappily unable to use their footage. So it's a big urge.
In the documentary.
In In the dark. We need
So let's assume that there's somebody watching who has not filled out the waiver and would like to be on the IMDb page and would like for you to be able to use their footage. Who do they contact and how?
Well, that can go straight to, you know what, we need that waiver done. Might as well send it to streaming, since we're talking about you right now. Streaming at LoveAmericaTour.today.
Okay, so we want to do streaming. And hang on, I'm going to put that up there while you guys are talking. Also, Mason Storm from Florida says...
What's up, Mason?
Mason. Yeah.
Let's see. I had it on here. Basically, okay, y'all have a place to park for as long as you want in Florida. No need to find a campsite to park at. Samantha Sheldon says, tell Corin we understand there's so much work behind the scenes that we do not see. We appreciate all your hard work. Documentaries take months to film. There's a lot of people that are agreeing. Mason Storm says, just park at my house and stay as long as you want when you come to Florida. So if you guys want to go for that, I'm going to get the streaming.
Well, the RV rental is an issue. It's, just when you park an RV, you're still paying for that RV every day. You got. That's why we had to stay on the move so much, because the RV rental, we only had it for 4 weeks solid, all in. He gave us 2 days on the back end because of the brakes going out, and losing 2 days in Texas. Yeah. But that said, we had to just keep it moving. I mean, I keep telling people, it was like 5 states, 17 different cities, and those are the ones that I could just count that I know we went to and actually had interviews in and all of that, or around, 17 over almost 3,400 miles in less than 4 weeks. I mean, I don't think people realize. I was a shell of my former self by the time we got into Mississippi.
Totally.
I was just shattered. I was shattered, man, completely shattered. It's insane what we accomplished. It's absolutely insane. So,
I agree.
Nobody can poo-poo it.
Real quick, like Ben was saying, for the address to send. Okay.
5 rounds. We're getting 5 rounds out of it.
Yeah, I think 5 rounds would be the exact amount to cover every state in without Alaska and Hawaii. To cover all of the states within between Mexico and Canada.
They call that CONUS, Continental United States.
So real quick,
we can fly to Hawaii.
Real quick, I'm gonna put the email address up. If you are out there and you are watching this and you have not filled out the waiver, send an email to streaming@LoveAmericaTour today. I just put it at the top. That goes to me. I believe that gets echoed to Ben, and Ben is the one actually, I think, or Kat, something. It'll get to where it needs to go. But that's, if you have not filled out a waiver yet, please email streaming@LoveAmericaTour.today. And with that, you guys are back on.
So I know not everybody that follows this is watching. So, hey guys, jot down that address, tweet it out, retweet it, share it, Facebook it, Instagram it, everything. I'll be doing the same. Corin will be doing the same. Ben will do the same. Bobby Ben will do the same. Husky will do the same. But it's really important so that we can give credit and also use the footage. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen for that person.
But it's amazing though, because there's been, I think we have a little over 27 of the 60 or so interviews that we've done. We have about 27 to 30 who have already gotten the waivers in, which is great. We'd love to have every single one, obviously. But what's incredible is I'm like, that is so many interviews as it is. I mean, if you just did one interview a day, that's a month of interviews right there. That's what nighttime talk shows do. Right. When they do their 5 days a week, they're only doing 5 interviews.
Your audio's kicking out again.
His audio is fine.
Was it my audio that kicked out?
I guess. Go ahead. You're doing 5 interviews a week. That's.
I was just saying that, like, when you think about what we accomplished, those are the only people who've just done who've sent the waivers in already. Almost 30 people so far. That's only half of the amount of interviews. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, dude, 5 days a week, they normally do talk shows, regular, nighttime talk shows where they get to know somebody and they do an interview or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's only 5 a week.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's only 20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
We already dwarfed all of those talk shows with just half of the amount of people that have signed the waivers, and these are the people that the talk show hosts don't want to interview.
Yeah, no,
if you look at it, you probably have 2 seasons right there alone.
Maybe
Absolutely.
more. 40 minutes of conversation with each person. 40 minutes, and we haven't even done the B-roll. We haven't done the backstory. We haven't done the road.
Right, yeah.
All that, right? So each person is honestly an hour. If you just give them their time, we could do a whole hour, 44-minute format on everybody. And that's 80 interviews at 4 right there. When was that? That's 6 seasons.
Yeah, that's not like he's breaking it. He's breaking it down. He's breaking it down in a month. But the fact is that on interview days that we interviewed, he was doing 3, 4, and 5 interviews a day. Or we were doing
more than that. I think we did topped off at 6 or 7 in one day at one point.
Yeah, I think it was 7.
Yeah, which was just like nuts.
And some of those were driving around.
That might have been when we were in Texas. That might have been one of those days when we were just all over the place.
Well, Arkansas was 7 or 8.
That was a lot too. I can't remember, but that was a lot.
Milky Wayward, watching on YouTube, has an interesting question that you guys can just go ahead and answer as you will. But she wants to know, how long have you guys all known each other for? The Lat Dream Team, she said. # Lat Dream Team.
Well, Ben and I go back, a couple decades. Bobby, Ben, and I go back 3, 4 years.
Yeah, at least, give or take.
Yeah, Chad and I literally met within the last 8 months. And then had gotten together in Texas because we were in the same town to do a satellite interview for a different podcast that Chad was running cover for, and then me and him just started kicking it and talking, and it all happened really, really quickly from there because Chad happened to be in a similar situation to me with having been essentially put out of work by the whole shutdown and everything else, and having nothing but time on his hands, and and I was like, I mean, if you're down to do this, let's do this. And then I got another filmmaker of mine, a buddy of mine, who's a street artist and documentary filmmaker, he does some really good stuff, but his name is Dr. Nothing, and he was supposed to come along, but then his mother ended up getting quite ill all of a sudden, and that was like a couple of days before we were supposed to leave.
Yeah, it was.
And I was really going to rely heavily on my buddy Joe, Dr. Nothing, to really tell the story, because I can't really tell the story as part of the subject in terms of cinematically. Running around with a camera on myself all the time wasn't the idea, and so Joe would have understood and known how to cover all of that and really tell the story cinematically of the journey, and Chad has some abilities, really, really unique abilities in the editing side with some really cool stuff, and the music and the enthusiasm to learn and know and pick up, the new techniques that are going to be necessary in terms of how do you follow a story cinematically? How do you, tell the story through a camera, and how do you stay on top of that, during a production? Because I don't think people realize, I don't think that Scott realized either, that the amount of footage that when you do a documentary, like let's say even Tiger King, when they boiled the episodes of Tiger King down to just the episodes that they showed, do you know how many hours and hours and hours of footage are on the floor? I mean, you're talking days and days worth of footage just laying on the floor, completely unused. That's how much you have to get in order to tell the story that they were able to tell on that. You have to be shooting 24/7 practically.
ABC.
Camp Journey's End is watching on Facebook, and they've got they say Lot 42 will always be open for you guys. Love, Ming.
I love it. Lot 42.
Thank
That's
you,
the
Big.
title of the book.
Yeah, lot 42, man. Ming, Lou, everybody there at Camp Journey's End, we were working, but it was such a reprieve to have just that welcome, that atmosphere. And you couldn't have asked for a better spot to just say, hey, all right, we're going to lock it up right here.
Journey's End.
Yeah, exactly.
Little Sister Ming.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we'll be back there.
Yeah, we will.
I guess.
Oh, and also just as a plug, if anybody is, traveling, doing the road trip thing, going out, they do have cabins to rent at Camp Journey's End as well. But if you're just doing the road trip thing, doing the RV thing in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, going to Camp Journey's End is absolutely a gem of a place. The folks there are great. They got really nice laundry facilities there. It's right next to one of the most famous barbecue joints around and in the area. And it's a really, really great stop. So, even if you're planning on trying to go somewhere for a month or more, it's a great place to end up if you got to stay in that area for a bit of a long term, if you're just going for a weekend. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, because that's right in the middle of everything, right? It's like literally, it's kind of off a little bit, but once you get out on the road and you drive in towards Ocean Springs, everything is there. It's literally within like just a couple of miles, and some of it within walking distance.
Awesome. I can tell you guys, if you're interested, I don't know if I'm part of the dream team or not, but I have been Twitter buddies with Bobby, Benn, and Corin for about a year, I think, give or take. I followed Bobby based on one of Corin's tweets, and every once in a while we DM and we'll reply back and forth. I didn't meet Chad until he showed up in Missouri, and I didn't meet Benn and I haven't met Benn face to face yet, but I didn't start interacting with Benn until after the Love America crew had left. So I'm pretty new to this crew.
And speaking of that, huge shout out to you, Husky, for everything that you've done.
Yes,
for all the build you've done, for everything that you've done for this is beyond amazing, and where we're going to take you in the future as well. Other film projects, doing live stream. I've got some ideas to put you live stream for what we call electronic press kitting in the back. So, if we can get some deals, like some of my own productions where I can have live stream with talent and we get it out. I just think there's a better way to do this now instead of waiting. Let's get our fans in now.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
I love it.
For sure.
Okay, so just to let you guys know, back when you guys get off of here, I know like Corin's way busy. I know everybody's way busy. When you have a chance, watch the first part of this live stream, because that is why I'm as dedicated as I am to this project. I told Corin, you've restored my faith in humanity, and that was back when I still had the wrong idea. I hadn't fully realized what this was about. And you heard that question in the Ask Me Anything. How has it changed your life? I was ready to move to northern New Mexico, southern Colorado, and turn my back on humanity. I wanted to get the hell away from everybody, and now I want to run towards humanity and show them this light.
Yeah,
Bill, actually, Corin was building these little habitat humanity things. Maybe you still want to go out there. We can focus around.
Is that a short joke? Are you saying I need a hobbit hole?
Live stream from Husky's Hobbit Hole.
Yeah, he is. He is short. I mean, it could just be me. I'm so tall, but I was like, "What's up down there, fella?"
Hey, it's all fun, games, and short jokes until we got to fly somewhere, Coach.
Or you need
a tunnel rat. Or you need a tunnel rat.
I was looking for Harry. I was looking for hairy feet, but I don't think I ever saw him with his shoes off. So that's still up for debate.
That's because I got hairy feet. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that didn't get the answer to the poll about whether or not Husky can swim like a fish.
Is that right? I could have swore it said Husky could dog paddle.
That was one of the options, but that wasn't the correct option.
So he wasn't swimming like a fish. Okay.
But what kind of fish?
In the water itself.
An old tired fish.
All
So-
right, before this degenerates into total madness, is there any other questions out there? I have so much dialogue I got to memorize for tomorrow.
All right, I got one thing. Corin, that watch. If you want to send that watch to me, it'll go great with my ring.
Yeah.
Right.
Hands off the watch.
Right now, let me go ahead and just kind of slide this over right quick. The chat is just going nuts right now about just having fun with the conversation, guys. And you know, it is 8:20. We've been live for about an hour and 20 minutes. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. But if you want to stay and chat with the guys and just laugh and have a good time, why not, man? People are enjoying it.
No,
That's
absolutely.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button before you go.
Right, exactly. And make sure you hit us all up, DM us if you got questions. Feel free, 'cause I'll answer any questions you got.
Yeah, retweet,
and also
share.
let us know ahead of time if there's questions you want us to talk about or subjects we want to talk about.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
Absolutely. And at the end of the live stream, at the beginning of the live stream, during the intro, the more people that share this, the more people see the live stream, see the videos, and see the light. You know, I'm hoping that maybe we can reach some people and give them hope. Because I was without hope when I ran into this project, and it makes a humongous difference. So share this, share everything. We got.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we got
it's almost
people.
like a philosophy.
Yeah, I get it. I get it now, man. And yeah, the beginning of this, there's an apology for not getting it before, but I think I got it now.
Hey, but
Well,
you
you know
got
what?
it, man.
Let me say this before we all leave. I gotta say, you know, with Corin and I, no matter how small our thing started, it blossomed to the biggest thing. So we grew fans. We grew so many fans, and then each fan kept following all of us.
Right.
And I said, all because somebody wanted to make fun and drop some M&M peanuts, and we came up with Skittles, and that thing magnified. And that's where we grew so much out of that. And that rivalry got everybody. Oh, I'm on Team Corin side. I'm on Bobby Benn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
That's actually when I started following you, Bobby.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I've gotten at least about 1,000 followers. I've got more followers after I did the video.
Oh, that video! The videos were great. That commercial was hilarious. You did. I mean, you went all out. You went all out, bro. I was blown away. I couldn't compete.
No, you know what? What made me do it was the Skittle tree.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
genius. That took some time. It took some
Yeah,
time.
I know it did. That Skittle tree, I'm like, oh, he killed me. He killed me because I said, how long did it take him to put Skittles on a tree? Then the pancake got me. And I'm sitting up here one night.
Oh, yeah. That was disgusting, though.
I did, so I know it was disgusting.
Ooh.
So I called my film crew. I said, y'all got a job tomorrow. And they said, what are we gonna do? I said, we're gonna make a video. They said, what? So I went and called my guy at the pizza shop. Said, I need to rent your pizza shop out. The guy said, for what? Yeah, I got an idea. So rent the pizza shop, got my crew, hired people, made shirts. I did this all in a 3-day span.
Nice.
So as soon as we put this thing out, I said, this one's gonna shut them down. And it did. It was amazing because I kept saying Corin had put nothing else out after that.
I couldn't. I mean, what can I do without a full production? I mean, this guy had actors. He had a set. He had all props. I mean,
Right.
the whole 9 yards in like 3 days. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Okay.
Bobby won the Skittle War.
The chat is going nuts about Skittles War 2020 and doing all of this stuff. And I got to tell you guys, everybody is saying, no, stay. Guys, These guys are busy. Bobby Benn, he's got a hospital he's got to work at. Chad's busy as hell doing editing. Corin is on set. He's got to memorize his lines. Benn is a production company that he's got to do producing. So, we'll get these guys on more and more, and they love you just as much as I do, and just as much as you love them. But we got to let them get back to work at some point. That being said, you guys are welcome to stay for as long as you want, but we understand you guys do have work to do and sleep to get and stuff.
Yeah, I gotta get sleep. I don't even know how I'm still awake.
Nah, do your thing,
Skittles.
my man. It's great to see you all.
Skittles.
Yes, exactly.
Love all y'all. Yeah. You need more Skittles during the daytime to keep the energy level up.
Right, exactly.
Now, there is something that somebody mentioned, is that the after party's on Twitter. Once this party dies, the after party's on Twitter. So
Exactly.
Well, my after party is going to be eating a burrito in bed while I memorize my dialogue for tomorrow.
Well, except for memorizing my dialogue, I think I'm going to be guilty also.
Remember, no mud butt.
What do you got?
No
No
mud
mud butt.
I'm over
It
here.
was-
I got dinner. I got a hungry wife over here. I might be in trouble if I don't get off this now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. No, don't hit me. No, she's not like.
Where's my dinner?
She'll probably kick my ass after for that. All right.
that's the other thing, is we got to let these guys go if we want them to come back.
Okay, guys.
Hey, love
Take
you,
care,
Husky.
guys, later.
Good to see you all.
All right.
Yep. All
Good to
guys.
see you.
We'll see you on Saturday for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
Exactly.
game, guys. Good game.
All right,
Good
brothers.
game.
All right.
Peace, everybody out there.
See you later.
While they're hopping off, I guess, Chad, are you sticking around or?
Yeah, man, I'll stick around for a little bit.
Oh, okay, cool. So Chad's gonna stick around. If you guys have any questions for Chad, this would be a good time. But everybody's got to work, and poor Corin.
I don't know how to turn this damn thing off.
That's all right, buddy. I got you.
Oh, there it is. Later.
Check you later.
All righty. Let me see if I can clean this up just a little bit.
No problem. No problem, man.
He's still connected.
I watched the first part. That was good. Good stuff, man.
Okay, well, I'm kind of removing the guys that hung up and didn't quite get out of the frame.
Get
I'm not
out.
sure what's going on with that.
Get out of here. What is that?
Okay, there we go. There we go, guys. So anybody that's still here, if you got questions for Chad, and yeah, Chad, that was actually about as from the heart as I can get.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Maybe maybe after I have another couple of years to develop later on, I'll be able to do this more often. But I literally, I worried about this for days. I had normally I get the jitters. I told you this like 20 minutes before every live stream, and then it goes away about 5 minutes before it starts. But
Yeah, same here.
this was holy crap. This was rough for 2 days. I kept wanting to second guess myself and go, no. Let's just stick with the norm. And everybody said this is going to be a good thing. So I definitely hope